Welcome into another episode of 5 Foot Nothing. I did that before. I'm doing it again. Welcome into the C'nB Show. Thanks so much for watching. Nobody that's watching right now. We can't even get Big Dan to come on time.
No, he's probably working on it.
Working on what? His gut?
Working on it, he said. Working on it.
Oh.
Trying to figure out how to click the button or find the link. I told him it was up. But...
As you can see on the bottom of the screen, it is season 5 episode. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Thanksgiving episode. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yay.
From all of us here at the C'nB Show. What's going on in Tampa, JJ?
Still the same. Not much. You know, I think I reported on the website that me and Giselle are over with, but, that's expected. She's a tramp.
It was a fling, as the kids call it.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey.
I broke her in for the next guy.
Rebounds. Everyone needs a rebound,
Right off the board.
Did she give you crabs or anything to remember her by?
We'll talk about that off the show.
What's going on in Pooler, Locks? How you doing, pal?
Nothing, man. We are moving on. December 1st, baby. Big month ahead of us, right? Everybody ready to roll for the fat guy in the red suit coming in?
Is that me?
I'm talking about Santa.
I brought a red suit.
Neither of you, yeah.
Is anyone tired of Christmas music already?
No.
So we have this great radio station here in the Hilton Head, Beaufort, Bluffton, South Carolina area called 103.1.
Yep.
Something or other. But it plays everything. Like literally they went from Nirvana to Genesis in back-to-back songs. So I really like it because it's like eclectic music. It's all over the map. They started doing every hour back-to-back Christmas songs. And I almost ran off the road today because I am not ready for that nonsense.
Oh, come on.
You are?
I don't have a choice. Every time you get my wife's car, it's Christmas music. It's just so
she's such an unpleasant person.
That's a smart.
Beth is fantastic.
I've given in. Yeah, it's cool. I don't mind it that much. I don't think there's anything left. We're fully decorated. It's done.
That's another thing. The bylaw has got to stop.
My son had ornaments on our crepe myrtle outside. See, you're up. You're ready to roll. Had ornaments up on the crepe myrtle outside. We have like real big ones for the tree outside on the day before Thanksgiving, and was ordered to take them down by my wife. So he is all in. He has the basketball hoop with lights on it.
Good, because I'm gonna beat his ass on Saturday night.
We've got the balconies, we got the railings, we got blow-ups up, we got the whole 9 yards. I don't think there's anything left.
Can't wait to bring my minivan down to Pooler over the weekend.
I'm just happy I survived the trip up and down the attic stairs multiple times without tweaking a muscle, pulling a hammy, falling. Just
baby steps.
General old guy stuff. Yeah.
Give it time when you put it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That one twist the wrong way, Yeah.
Rough.
So I got to amend my Christmas bah humbug stuff. Is I really enjoy Christmas, but I can't do it. I'm not vigilant about it, but I can't do it before December 1st. Well, what's today? December 1st. But also when you don't look at a calendar before you impregnate your wife, and you realize that your kid's going to be born 5 days before Christmas.
Yeah,
that kind of throws another wrench into the game. So I got a big December.
Does he get double holiday?
He does. He gets birthday and then Christmas. So he's 5 days. That's a good separation.
That's tough, man. I mean,
yeah, you got to give him his day.
Kevron Harris texts in from
There he is.
Pope, South Carolina. Good evening. Go Tigers. Thank you, pal. Always appreciate you checking in. Hope you're doing well there in Cope, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and the family there.
There should be a rule. It should be a federal law. There's no Christmas music. There's no decoration until 2 days after Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
you don't blow over Thanksgiving. You don't start decorating for that crap. You let the 4-day weekend eating and football feast go uninterrupted, and then you start the Christmas bullshit.
I'm okay with that.
My tradition has been like watching the Iron Bowl and putting ornaments on a tree for like a while. I mean, that's just I got days off. That's the way I look at it. I'm gonna get all this shit out of the attic, and we're gonna start putting it on things that I'm gonna put things on twice because I'm gonna do it wrong the first time. How about that?
Last Saturday,
I have a turkey sandwich right here. I'm just eating it like this.
There's not that much sitting around in my house, bro. I mean, like, there's just not.
No.
Yeah, you said something that I wanted to bring up. A federal law, right?
Right.
Time change. No more of this fucking time change.
I'm okay with that.
I'm still a mess. I swear to God.
I tell you what, I will
come. I wake up, I'm like, God, man, it's getting bright outside. And then I come home, I'm like, fuck, it's dark. I'm ready for bed. Like,
I will compromise your time change for Christmas ornaments and music.
Done deal. I think we should just make laws right here.
That's how government works.
That's right. It's compromise.
Switching gears, everybody. We're going straight up. No more sports. We're just going to talk compromises.
We're going to fix shit.
That's right. We're going to make it work. Isn't a little fact too? What's it? Not Scottsdale. Is it Phoenix?
No, it's Arizona. The whole state.
Whole state, or is it just an area? Okay. And also, there's a place in northern Indiana, also, I believe, isn't it?
That's like right on the border.
South Bend.
Who the fuck do they think they are?
South Bend does not change. Yeah. Hence,
God City.
Since 2 p.m. start times. They do whatever the fuck they want, man. They rule the world. They think they do.
Screws up all sports.
Who starts at 2 o'clock? The Peacock Network. That's who. Yeah. Little known fact. All right. Moving on to Notre Dame talk.
You gotta take a shit.
Yeah, it looks like something moved there. You all right?
Yeah, you okay?
I'm good. I just don't have a hat
kidney shifter.
Yeah. I got some clippers. We can take care of that this week.
Well, you are getting gray as fuck too.
Dude, that's why this goes away. It's great. Look at my goatee.
Don't see that thing's
running.
There's snow on the roof,
bro.
Yeah, it's like paint hit it a couple times.
No, this thing up here, that's running way back now.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was long this week, and I actually measuring it up here. We were like 3/4 of an inch. That's long. Up here, 1/4 inch. That's a 1/2 inch difference because it just doesn't grow like in this whole region. So, but then all the wispy starts sticking straight out here. So fuck it, it's gone.
You know what the name of that dock I went to?
Nope. Oh. Nope. I'm beyond over it. Yeah.
That's what hats do, bro. Hats rule the world.
I don't wear a hat. I wear a stocking hat all the time because my fucking head's cold.
So
we all look like we're in fucking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
So in our pre-show meeting tonight, we were talking about getting pulled over. A friend of the show, Palk, got pulled over today by the police officers.
Got a warning. Lucky bastard, man.
Well, I've been pulled over. The last 3 times I've been pulled over, I've gotten warnings.
How many warnings have you gotten in your life? You guys go first. How many?
I'd say probably 5.
Okay.
And 3 within the last 10 years.
All my life?
Yeah. How many do you think?
3.
2 this year.
1, I really should have been in jail.
0. Never gotten a fucking warning.
Always a ticket? It's because you look like an asshole.
I guess. They must know I'm a son of a cop or something.
You look
I
like
don't
a
get
white
it.
supremacist. I mean, you can't
the
help
last time I had a ticket, I think I had hair. So
I mean, the only thing you're really missing is the swastika on the forehead.
Did that just happen?
I don't think it just happened, but I didn't realize it was there.
Elbow blowout.
I just thought
stop flexing, bro. That's what a weird place for it.
It's a weird spot, right?
It was like a masturbation injury.
Holding your head up.
Just digging in, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, Pal got a warning today, but it brought up a couple stories. And I think, Lox, you might have to go first here on this one.
Yeah, because I don't believe this one.
This story.
It's true, and I was trying to remember how it happened. And this is my most recent ticket. Who in the group has gotten a ticket for going under the speed limit? That's this guy. I was floored and shocked, and it was a cocksucking state trooper. I think that's why I get most of my tickets. I'm usually getting pulled by a statey, and they are
always, they always
relentless.
like
Statey's
fucking
always.
pricks. Yeah. Going on I-16 and Pooler Parkway is the exit. So I went under the bridge. I'm on 16, and it's like when you're coming up to 95, it drops from 65 to 55. Okay. So I know that's coming. And meanwhile, the statey is
Getting a donut.
kind of beside me, like caddy corner. I got a motorcycle coming down and merging. So I'm slowing down, knowing that I'm not going to get a ticket coming up here when it changes to 55, and I can see the sign. And I got the motorcycle coming over, and I drop back kind of past. I'm hitting the brakes to go behind the state trooper. So I was like up kind of next to him, and I laid back, and I let the motorcycle merge in front of me. He hits his brakes, comes in behind me, lights me up, and gives me a ticket for going under the speed limit. $175.
How fast was he pedaling, and how much was he ringing the bell to pull you over?
I was going. I don't even know if he put a number on it. I was under the speed limit because it was still 65, and I was probably going 55. It was a bunch of shit. I was floored. He's like, I pulled you over. I said, I have zero clue. I said, please tell. And he's like, you were going under the, too slow for conditions. I said, how? I said, you were beside me. I had a guy merging. He's like, the speed limit's 65 here. You were going well under. I was like, okay. And I'm thinking warning, but then I'm going, it's a state trooper, no fucking way. And he gave me a ticket. So I go to court because I always go to court. Like I said, my dad's a cop. He always says to at least plead no contest. That way, I don't know why. There's a fucking reason.
Right.
Some cop reason. To please, it puts an end to it. They can't take it any further. And just to go and pay it. And when you go to plead no contest, you can have the floor and speak. And I had like a diagram drawn, and I also went back and I was going 55 miles an hour and timed how many seconds it took on my phone, using my phone in my car illegally, to where it went to 55, and it was like 3 seconds. It was going to be 55, And I told the judge all this, and the judge, he said, "Son," he's like, "You should have fought the ticket." He's like, "You probably would have won." Next, I was like, it was too late, and have y'all ever fought disputed a ticket? I never have, just because I was like, because then you can get court costs. Like I said, if you're wrong, they pile on. And I was like, I don't want to spend
on the diagram. Did Popo look like this?
No. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
that was a good diagram.
I just wanted it to go away.
That's artist sketch.
And it still blows my mind. That is the last ticket I got. Knock on wood. It's been a while too, probably 4 or 5 years.
That's he was looking for something else. When you slammed your brakes or hit your brakes and went back far enough, he thought you were hiding something.
It was one of those situations, where we were both kind of going next to each other, and I dropped back, and he was probably like, "Well, there's a reason he dropped back," or he just was.
Yeah, when you were telling it, that's the first thing that I thought of. I
forgot the sunglasses. Dun.
So I got to real. I think I told one before, but this is my favorite. My favorite warning ever was I was driving in Tampa. I lived in North Tampa, and I played softball 4 nights a week, and so or 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week. I don't know. I saw a lot of softball. So I was going to a game, and I was running a little late, and so I was flying on this really sleepy road in Wesley Chapel, Florida. And I'm talking to my dad on the phone too. So like me on the phone, talking to my dad, flying down this road, cop turns around in Tampa where I lived, or north of Tampa, there's county cops. So it's the county sheriff.
Yeah.
So he turns around. I see it the whole time because it's literally he and I are the only 2 people on this road. Lights me up, pulls me over. My cousin was a state trooper and a Marine. So he told me how to make it seem like you are respectful to them. So it was probably this time of year. So I think it was getting dark. So I flipped my interior lights on, put the hands at 10 and 2. Don't touch a thing. Don't move. Roll your window down, And then the cop comes over and he says, license registration. I say, sir, it's in my center console. He goes, do you have anything in there? I said, no, sir. I give it to him. He sees I have 2 softball bats in my passenger seat on the floor in my bat bag. And he looks around and he said, "Is there anything in this vehicle that could harm me?" Something of that nature. And I see him looking at my softball bats because they're not hidden. The handles are sticking up. And so I catch his eyes looking there. I look over and I go, "Oh, don't worry, officer. The way I've been swinging it recently, nothing in here is going to harm anybody." And at that moment, he cracked up. And so at that point, I cracked up. And so I was doing like 74 and a 45. So this was not going to be a light ticket.
No.
So he's like, "I'll be right back." But he was laughing. So he comes back like 10 minutes later, comes back, hands me a warning. He says, "Please slow down." That night I hit 2 bombs. So I think it was good karma.
Oh, man.
The second time I was 18 years old. I don't think I'd even touched a drop of alcohol yet. I was in the Jersey Shore. We actually were surfing. I say surfing. We were attempting to surf. One of my friends
Wait a minute.
had to go.
We got
Hold
to
on,
circle
hold
back.
on.
To this.
Yeah, we'll circle back to the surfing. So I had a wetsuit on.
Okay, all right. So there's a lot of visual representations going on here that I need a lot more info on. Go ahead.
I had a wetsuit on. I had a pair of shorts on over the wetsuit.
Was Greenpeace around the shore?
That's what all the cool kids did. I wasn't fat yet. I hadn't eaten a ton of grilled cheese and fries that she'll let her eat in the dining hall. So we get out of the water. We go up to my car. We take off. We're doing 32 miles an hour in a 25. The cop coming at me turns around, lights me up, pulls me over. First words were, "Where are you going in such a hurry?" To which I started laughing. But then I realized that I had an extra pair of shorts on my head as a hat. So I took them off. And at that moment that I took them off, he says, "Get out of the vehicle, son."
Oh my God.
So I get out of the vehicle. He starts doing the pen thing. Now, mind you, I had never even sniffed alcohol at this point in my life. So I was nervous that maybe I breathed the wrong air or something, as a dumb 17, 18-year-old kid. He's giving me the thing. As he's giving me the pen thing, my car starts overheating. I'm talking smoke, juice flying everywhere out of the front of the Jetta. It was the green Jetta, Zach. That goes Zach Clemson after Maggie. And so at that point, he's like, "Oh, no, we got to do this." So he's like, "All right, you're good." He runs to the front of the car, opens the hood, tries to put it all better. At that point, he's like, "Don't worry about it. Just get everybody safe to where they need to be, but slow down." So that was my other. That was
over. I was like, "Come on, bro."
I got pulled over in a golf cart a couple months ago too.
Really?
That's a special story.
Wow.
Did I tell you guys this one too?
Yeah.
So I was going to get. There was a cop on the island that day. So I was driving the golf cart. My wife and my son were somewhere else, probably New Jersey or something. And so it was just me here. So it was just the boys. I think it might have been. I might have come to your house the next day. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm driving to get ice at an ice machine in the golf cart. There's a stop sign on the Busky Island. And so I didn't know where I was going. So I made a right-hand turn. I realized I was wrong, so I turned around in the golf cart and came right back through where the stop sign was. But nobody was on this road, no single person. It's a dirt road.
Chevron, you still there?
As I'm coming this way, the cops coming where I just came out of. And I had my headphones in. I'm jamming to probably some OAR or Nickelback or something really cool. And
Train.
Cop says something, and I turn around. I didn't hear him, so I take my ear. I said, "Excuse me?" He goes, "Oh, I stop at stop signs because I'm paying. I actually pay attention when I drive." And I was like, "I appreciate that, but why the attitude?" Wrong words to say to a police officer, especially a 5'4" one that's pissed off about being 5'4".
Yeah, why didn't you just say, "I've had it up to here with you"?
Turns.
Leave me alone. I've been drinking. You should have said
he's on the phone and he goes, "I got one." Hangs up. Turns the corner. Turns the lights on. Now I wasn't moving. My legs were actually over the side of the golf cart. I wasn't going anywhere. And he's like, "Oh, you want to talk? You're big and bad. Want to talk yourself into a ticket?" I'm like, "For what?" He's like, "You just ran that stop sign. You know how many people I've seen get hurt by running into things?" And I just kind of started chuckling. Anyway, he's like, "License and registration."
Oh.
my father-in-law keeps a registration and insurance card in these golf carts. So I pull out. He goes, "You don't live here." I said, "No, I do live here." He goes, "What's your address?" I said, 14 Masters. He said, license registration. I had my license, and I reach into the bag, and I have the registration. He was like floored.
Yeah. There's no
He goes back to the car. Long story short, he goes back to the car. He comes back. He goes, "Even though your wise ass was trying to talk yourself into a ticket, here's a warning."
Unbelievable.
So anyway, those are my 3 long-winded stories.
Is there normally a cop there?
No,
Well,
I saw him today. As a
how
matter
does
of
the
fact,
cop
and I
get
waved.
there?
They boat over, and then they have a.
Like
they
on a
have a
barge?
no, there is a vehicle here.
The vehicle. Oh, and then the cop comes and gets in the vehicle.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You get too many scrap irons, JJ. Start getting
Hey, I got there fun.
Yeah, we made it.
Speaking of scrap irons, did you guys see the big news today in college football?
What?
Cade McNamara, the quarterback in the University of Michigan, who was the backup to J.J. McCarthy.
Right.
But they had the whole, when they started the season, one started the first game, the other started the second game, and then they figured it out, has announced his intentions to transfer to Iowa.
Really?
Wow.
Cade McNamara is transferring to Iowa.
Say
Real quick.
Sunday he was going in the portal?
I think
There
it's
is-
10 because I'm not sure they're allowed to talk.
This is a discussion for later on that I brought up here
Wow.
about this transfer portal shit.
Do it now.
Okay, here's my idea. You got so many kids
We're
in the transfer.
solving everything tonight.
We're solving everything. If
We're
kids are
solving everything, and we have a list. So, might as well just.
if kids are going through the transfer portal, should there be trades in college football?
Why not? Because you can't follow anything now. Let's
It's
make it more
basically the
public.
minor leagues for the NFL.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, you want my second string quarterback who was a 4-star. I need a linebacker. Give me your 4-star who hasn't started yet linebacker, and you can get my 4-star quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, how about if they're in the transfer portal already? Like they have to go in, and then that's your pool that you can trade to and from.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If this kid wants to go to Iowa, does Michigan get to pick someone out of Iowa's defense or offensive line to bring into Michigan? That would be interesting.
It would be because especially, my big thing, and here I am holier than thou, I'm going to play this game, but 2,200 kids apparently were in the transfer portal last year for 850 spots. I think eventually there's something like 1,400 got enrolled in schools. So like some had the lowered levels or whatever, but there was something 800 spots for D1. I don't know. And so where are the other 600 kids, or where are the other 400 kids, whatever the math may be? And so I think something like that may be able to regulate it a little bit. I like it.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, you're gonna also you got to think about your classes and your But is there a way where you could like play for another school but stay in the school you're in for an education? Because let's face it, everything's online anyway.
It's true.
Get your major for another school and go play for another school.
I mean,
like finish up your year.
These clowns can't figure out what they got. We don't need to throw another kink in there, I don't think. But
that's a lot.
That's
a lot of work for
you know
the
what I'm
admins.
saying? It's like, okay, if you're going to transfer and they accept you and they invite you in, I want something from that school since I'm losing you.
Bag of corn.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
you recruited them, spent money on them, had them at your school for the official
Right.
visits, unofficial visits, all the food that you go to Dabo's house for, and then you lose them for
right.
nothing. It's like a free agency. It is free agency.
It
It's
is.
not like free agency.
But there should be some trades. I mean, you should be allowed to trade.
I need a certified letter to Greg Sankey.
That's right.
Right.
And
The best
make it happen.
in all of sports.
And NIL money is responsible for the school they go to, all that shit.
Right.
And they shouldn't have names on jerseys anymore. If everyone's going to get NIL money, you're going to transfer, no names.
No, he hate me. Nothing like that.
That's not in college anyway.
We share a brain, bro. I was literally thinking he hate me. Thinking about putting names like he hate me on the back. That's scary. Sometimes.
That's years of you two spooning.
Yeah.
I was always the little spoon. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, wait, what?
What?
Speaking of being the little spoon, did you see what happened in the Michigan-Ohio State game?
Yeah, it was glorious.
Beat down of epic proportions.
Oh, I mean, it looked like a prison rape.
It was a 7-point game with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Ended up being a 22-point victory for Michigan.
How many was it? Like 200 yards on 3 passes that were touchdowns or something like that?
He was 12 of 24, right, Zach?
Right.
And,
12 of 24 for like
3 touchdowns
and like 222 yards.
2,025 yards.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't great. Wasn't 50% isn't real accurate, but by the sounds of the stats of like, if you just heard yardage and touchdowns, you think, boy, he must have thrown the ball about 45 times. Nope, 24. And so
a quarter of his throws. Every 4 throws, he threw a touchdown.
Yeah, still ran
and
it
for a lot of territory.
Well, who was that kid? I don't think I've heard of him before. The kid catching all the long ball, all the long.
I have no idea because it's been Blake Corum all season long for them.
And
offensively,
sad news today, like done, huh?
And I had Ohio State not Stanford championship game, all that. And if you look at the quality opponents in the Big 12, they allowed 20 points plus on each of them. Yeah, they allowed Maryland 30. Penn State they allowed 31 points to Penn State, and defense wasn't there.
I think it's a travesty if either TCU or USC loses and they get in. I'd rather see fucking Alabama in because they lost 2 games by 2 points,
total of 4 points or something like that. Yeah.
Ohio State hasn't played anybody worth shit.
But Alabama's played a lot closer games with Texas and all those, kind of 500 or lower teams.
Road,
Yeah.
Ohio State was at home. You can't blame the weather. You can just blame them for being a soft team. Michigan just punched them in the mouth.
They've been kind of having trouble all year getting going. Northwestern, Maryland, Iowa was close early.
Kind of like Clemson.
Do you?
They didn't play last weekend.
I think it's ridiculous that they're calling for Ryan Day's head already.
I don't get rid
of. Why? He's 55-5. You can't have 5 losses over the course of 5 years.
You can't have it like that either. It's painted.
But however, you think the bullshit's finally off Harbaugh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
2 in a row and 2 like ever.
I mean, and 2 crushing.
Yeah.
I mean, destroying them.
Not close.
Going back to the big house next year too, with your quarterback that you got right now. So 3 in a row. I mean, we can.
Brian Jackson checks in, says the only time I've been able to say this and not be made fun of in a long time. Go Knowles.
Hey,
and Rai checks in. Can y'all get me a Clemson Penn State Orange Bowl matchup? I'll hang up and visit. And I can't see what the emoji is afterwards.
It's train.
I can't see what it is. All right.
Drops of Jupiter.
The Penn State Clemson thing is a slim possibility. Clemson has to win this week.
Ohio State or Tennessee.
Ohio State supposedly wants to back out of the Rose Bowl to play in the Orange Bowl.
What's up with that?
Why can they can't do that?
Yeah, nothing should be said about bowls until we complete.
Always
this.
go backwards, can't you? As the team, you can.
I guess, but it's a chance you take.
Yeah, I think somebody else would scoop them up. But that's where they always go if they don't make the Final Four. So I don't know. Brian Jackson's comment, "Go Knowles." That was a game, huh? Friday night was it Friday? Yeah.
Friday night.
The afternoon game, NC State, North Carolina. I mean, it wasn't the best played game, obviously, but it was fun to watch back and forth.
It was entertaining.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest, but man, Florida State looked great. Florida hung, man, and it was fun. It was like a Big 12 track meet. I loved it. Most points ever scored in that series ever. And I think they've had another stat. I heard Stanford Steve say it, something like in the, I guess it'd be the 90s when those teams played, in the 10 times they played, 7 of those times, one of those teams won a national championship or something like that between 2 of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's wild.
Those 90s.
So
early 2000s teams.
And this is by no mean to rub it in. Is the DJ era over?
Yeah, he's got 2 more games in the Clemson uniform. It's already been pretty much well established.
I didn't know.
He'll start Saturday, and if he looks like he did the last 2 weeks, then he'll be out Saturday. And then he may not. Yeah. If I'm Dabo, seriously, like at this point, you got to start prepping for next year, especially if you know for sure that DJ's not going to be there next year. And I everything that I'm reading, everything, and I read a lot of Clemson shit.
Yeah,
says that he won't be there next year. He's a junior. He has another year.
Is he going to transfer then?
I think transfer
portal. NFL.
He's not going to. He can't. Where's he going to do there? Be a tight end?
Yeah.
Sucks.
But yeah, I really believe that he's done because they got another 5-star kid coming behind Cade Klubnik that I heard also he probably needs a year to develop, especially in the system. But
is that something maybe that no one's talked about? Maybe Cade Klubnik is not ready.
I talked to JP Priester, who's Jason Priester is my go-to guy and with Clemson stuff, and he's on allclemson.com, the Sports Illustrated affiliate, and that's exactly what he said from the start. He's a little slight. Deshaun Watson was special when he came in, but Deshaun Watson's big thing was that he was slight too. He was a tall beanpole of a kid coming in. Cade's a tall beanpole of a kid also. But he put on like 35 pounds. He still looks small.
Is he tall?
So he is.
But Boyd was special too.
Boyd was special, and Trevor obviously. All three of those guys are 6'4", 6'5". But I think Cade probably needed a year.
He's not ready for the
DJ's got to be the biggest underachiever that school's had in years.
Well, he's under a microscope too.
It's
like the guy that's going to coach Alabama after Saban. You know, he's going to be extremely scrutinized. You had Boyd who brought the team to 10 wins 3 times. Mm-hmm. Then you had Deshaun who just won a national championship. Then Trevor wins a national championship in his freshman year. I mean, it's just then you have a 5-star from California who has all the tools.
Who came back from 17 points down at Notre Dame?
Yeah.
It made it look easy. Made it look easy.
Came back against Boston College.
Yeah. And then we're coming into this next season going, hell yeah, this kid's a stud. And then what?
He was the number 2.
He's back.
I put money on him winning the Heisman. Not a lot, but I put money on it that year or last year.
It was just shocking to me to see. It really was.
Yeah, whole lot. It's hard to watch.
Give Cade the crucial experience. So that's what I think. It's like the Cole Stout. Well, it was like the Cole Stout, Deshaun Watson, even though it was kind of flipped. But I agree with Ryan. He needs to. Cade needs to start and play the bowl game because that's just an exhibition at this point.
I saw a headline.
Is that why they're keeping him out?
No, they didn't register him.
Yeah, well, I guess that happened already. So yeah.
I saw a headline today that said Clemson will probably have 12 wins and it'll be a disappointing year, or it'll be the end of a dynasty. It's like, what? It's
everyone is in such a hurry, and yes, I'm biased, but everyone's in such a hurry to shut the door on Clemson. Everyone, all the talking heads, all the detractors are in such a hurry. The way they're recruiting, they're not gonna be. They're gonna win 10 games, but is that mediocre? Is winning 10 games? Because now the narrative is, the ACC is terrible. I don't know. Florida State's coming back.
Yeah.
Miami had a great recruiting class. If they can coach them up, they're gonna be okay. And I think we're gonna get back to they sucked out loud this year, no doubt. And they're losing kids to the portal, but they still have a top 5 recruiting class.
Let's see if Dion goes to Georgia Tech.
No, they hired their coach already. Georgia Tech hired Brent Key, the interim. Okay. The latest rumor is Dion to Colorado.
Wow.
I heard that one, but
Dion don't ski.
No shit.
Another rumor that you guys would like to hear.
He definitely does the blow.
If Ryan's still on, which he may have just hung up, but Brandon Streeter is getting talked about to take the Liberty job.
Go.
He was the offensive coordinator there for 5 years. He knows the place.
I will elect Jeff to be the offensive coordinator. And you will do much better.
Give me my Madden playbook. I'm ready.
Oh, dude, that would be.
I can do this.
Go call Jeff Scott. Tell him to come back up. See Daddy.
That's right. Sit on Daddy's lap for a little while.
Yeah.
You know.
Be a good recruiter again. We'll be back to normal.
No.
Back to winning 15 games.
Was everyone impressed with USC? No, not the Cox, the Trojans.
I'm impressed with both.
Fair enough.
They played a good game. Then is Spencer Rattler back next year?
That's I heard today 50-50 chance. And right now he probably sits at a 3rd or 4th round draft pick and he's probably the 7th or 8th quarterback.
One more year being the guy and getting some experience. That kid's got a fucking cannon on his
and his stock, his stock right now. His stock right now is pretty high.
Yeah.
They're watch out for the guy.
Beamer's got him going the right direction.
But the kid Caleb
Williams
is great.
Well, and if you watch the game, did you know? I did not know that USC, the Trojans, lost 50 players.
Oh yeah,
from this team, and
from
Lincoln Riley, man,
coming in, yeah.
I thought they'd beat Notre Dame, but good Lord, I mean, they looked good all around.
Do you know Caleb Williams paints his fingernails for every game?
Yeah, did you see what the fingernail said this week?
I didn't.
Fuck you, ND.
Is that what it said?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it. So he put some shit on there for
he had the F
you. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. His NIL, he's part of a men's grooming company or some shit like that. He's part owner of it, I think, even some shit. So
yeah.
He's pretty special. That one play, dude, he dropped back and like did the whole circle spinny do and it was his Heisman moment. It was pretty awesome. But he's good. No,
Lincoln Riley's a damn good coach, and
that game was like a Big 12 game. There was no one could get a stop. There was no like, all right, well, okay, there'll be a stop here, 3rd and 4. No, it was like there's another 6 yards over and over
10,
and over.
12.
It wasn't on both sides. Even Notre Dame, when y'all had the ball, it was like neither team was even efforting to make a stop. It was like, who's going to get the ball last? It was
but when USC got on defense, they'd lock up pretty good on when they needed the play.
Yeah,
when it became like 3rd and 2, here comes a loss for another 4. It's like, holy jeez,
Yeah.
So I was impressed with USC, but I'm staying on that train like I did in the beginning of the year. So
going out west.
Well, I said they'd be in the playoffs.
Called it, nailed it.
Just like Cincinnati.
I think I had them in too, didn't I?
Shit.
I had Utah.
Roll the tape.
Hey, they beat USC. It still might be a chance.
It's too bad that game's tomorrow night. I'll be asleep probably.
What?
You will. You got to rest up. Big day.
Yeah, big day.
Yeah, it's that's gonna be a good one. Utah. That was the one. What did you say last night? 54-53 or something like that. Last time, 1 point.
38-34, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But it was a great game.
It was a great game, and what's his name was crying. Caleb Williams was crying.
Yeah.
What is it? 43-42 is what the score was. So I was wrong. You were right, as always.
Nailed it.
You think Sonny Dykes should get Coach of the Year?
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. Sonny Dykes at TCU. Yeah.
TCU?
I hope they win. I really
do too.
There's a chance that they might not, though.
Yeah.
Well, everywhere I looked today, I looked at Bleacher Report, I looked at ESPN, I looked at SI.com, and all 3 picked Kansas State to win.
And I don't know why. Nobody wants to play Kansas State right now.
Kansas State has that reputation. They're the giant killers.
Well, they were up by 21 points on TCU earlier in the season and completely pooped the bed. And so
where's this game at?
Dallas,
yeah. Jerry World.
So, more TCU.
So it is off-site,
but it is closer. But Kansas State will travel. They're good. They're good to travel.
To go to see a game there. It doesn't have to be Cowboys.
The whole town, Manhattan, will look like a Hoosiers episode with all the cars just lined up going straight down the highway with the school bus. You know?
There's a lot of Kansas State's ranked 10th also.
Yeah, they're good.
So I mean, they're not slouches.
They don't even got what's his name, Martinez. They got this other kid in who's just
right.
And isn't that the old coach from North Dakota State, the Bison?
Yeah, Kleiman.
Yeah.
I know. Is that right?
He had what, 2 or 3 or 4, about 2-3 Division II national titles, something like that.
Yeah. At least they're always in it.
Yeah.
Watch, yeah. Huh.
Speaking of always in it, how exciting is Saturday? You wake up, you start your USA chants at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it leads right into noon kickoffs of
When's the
championship
soccer game?
weekend. Saturday at 10.
When's the soccer game over?
About 12:06.
That's when the TV goes on. Beautiful.
You ain't interrupting college game day for me. I got to see guest picker and everything.
Do we really like Team USA, or do we really just like USA?
I love Team USA. Yeah.
But do we like Team USA?
The guy scored a goal on his balls.
They,
I mean, that should count for something.
They're not going to be around long, right? Am I wrong here? They don't score.
They've scored 2 goals in 3 games. What do you want? It's
more than that.
They're just getting them started.
They've not given up any goals in normal play.
And they beat Iran. Big.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Big.
That was big. They played 45 minutes of unbelievable soccer and then 45 minutes of hold on to your hats.
Yeah.
Defense. It's like playing prevent defense when you start playing prevent defense at the end of the first quarter. That's what it felt like. You were just sitting back, just taking fire.
Oh.
And if you're a fan like me, you start screaming at your phone.
I could just imagine. I feel like I've seen this play.
Saying press forward because Iran didn't. They just needed a tie to move on.
Right.
And so they were playing back defensive, and then Captain America, Christian Pulisic, scores the goal, takes a knee to the grundle, and goes out. And then they, from that point on, they just went into the shell. Like,
I wonder why.
Yeah.
All the U.S. did was
player singing soprano all of a sudden.
Hey,
he came out today and said he didn't get it. It's not the balls. So
okay.
Even
though he was squeezing his dick the entire time.
We saw the highlights. It's like, really? It didn't get you there?
Did Wrexham? Did they qualify for World Cup?
Wrexham? I don't even know her.
Oh no.
You know that show? That show about soccer? That's
Ted Lasso?
That's my show.
Ted Lasso's coming up. I'm so excited.
Never seen
it. It is this month. That's this month. If you knew anything
Ted
about
Lasso's
soccer,
a Chiefs fan. Lifer.
Wrexham is a club team.
Yes, I know.
You play club and country.
Right.
So no.
Country club.
But when it comes to the U.S. and Mexico and Canada in 2026, maybe Ted Lasso will be our coach.
Wrexham fans would be rooting for Wales. That's.
I haven't had Taco Bell since the Myrtle Beach trip.
Thought about having it today. I did.
I went past it today, and I was going to give you a video.
I went to Hardee's. It took half an hour in the drive-thru. Unacceptable. Half an hour.
People Hardee's?
People behind me hopped the curb, went in the grass, drove past me, and left.
Is Hardee's still a thing?
It's fucking good.
There's a couple burgers I got.
Is that right by your office?
Pretty good. Yeah, it's down on the other side of 95 on the left.
You know what I had a craving for?
Not fast.
You know what I had a craving for last week, and I got one.
Crystal.
It was a Whopper. Oof.
You can't go.
I love Whoppers
all the way, man. Oh, it's so good.
The fries. What is
they're atrocious.
No.
They're atrocious,
and you can't even replace them with onion rings because, like,
so gross. Oh,
yeah, they're not. They're not
good. Yeah.
My go-to in college was Whopper meal, no onion.
Oh,
onion rings.
Yes, I love that. Yeah,
that makes no sense.
Oh no,
it makes no sense whatsoever.
Raw onions are.
Did you put the onion rings in the Whopper?
Ooh. No, they do that for you with the rodeo burger.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Burger King's very underappreciated.
Yeah.
If their fries were any better, I swear their whole PR would change. You know, their whole
King. They got the. How about the catchy commercial right now? BK, have it your way. No,
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
I don't watch TV, so I don't see it. But I danced with it.
I'm still in the fetal position after Giselle left. You
don't watch TV, but you listen to terrestrial radio. That's interesting.
I do at times.
Never. I haven't used.
What the hell are you shaking for?
I'm still singing. BK, have it your way.
God, I'm gonna get you both Special Olympics T-shirts for Christmas.
Okay, let's get some new fries, Come on.
Speaking of new fries,
we're solving problems tonight.
Yeah.
New segment for the show for the second week. What I learned on TikTok this week. It's JJ's segment. JJ, go. What you learned?
I think you two learned something about my TikToks.
What's
know my bathroom schedule.
Yeah, that's a solid point. I
hope it is.
And then I left the desk. I'm still sitting at the desk. 5 minutes later, TikTok. Oh, Jeff had to take a dump. Yeah.
That's what I learned on TikTok. Yeah. You guys got to learn what my schedule is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, must have been a fiber-filled one.
Oh, it's the coffee break. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Hugh Freeze, formerly of Ole Miss, went to Liberty, got redeemed by the Jesus Christ himself, came all the way back, and is now the head coach at Auburn. But before we talk about that, best friend of the show, Eddie Lockett, Whopper's candy is good.
Ooh, Whopper's candy.
I'm taking that right off. He lost me at the first sentence.
Oh, Whopper's candy. Now I got it.
Malt balls. Oh, God, they're the best.
Whopper's burgers are shit. The BK fish is great, but second to the Filet-O-Fish. Whoa. The next time I eat a fish sandwich from one of those places will be the first. I don't eat fish. I don't eat ribs from any fast food place. I might get the crackling from Long John Silver.
What'd you do for Lent?
What'd
you do for Lent? When it was Lent and you had to eat fish on Fridays.
Look at him. He didn't eat anything. He starved himself.
Oh, fuck, he didn't. Look at him. Exactly what you just said.
Look this way. Pizza and bean burritos from Taco Bell.
Jeez. Bean burritos.
I just tooted at the same time, so. As I said, I think it's just a natural body reaction. It really is. It's probably the same meat that goes into the Filet-O-Fish as in the bean burrito.
Probably. So they just put bleach in it to whiten it.
True story.
Yeah. Hugh Freeze, what's y'all's thoughts?
I guess there's good escort services down there and on the plains in Auburn, Alabama or something. I don't know why they got him.
It was posted. They have 256 escorts around Auburn.
That's right. You did the research. I appreciate that, doing the research.
I had a lab coat on. I had to, had a pocket protector for my pens. I studied this shit.
Yes, you did. You Googled it up. I was always kind of an Auburn fan until I started hanging around Georgia fans. I didn't realize how much Georgia fans hated Auburn fans. So I did investigating and asked why. And I didn't realize that Auburn has no morals. They don't.
They don't anymore.
Cam Newton, just there's more than that too.
They had a kid shoot at somebody. I remember this is what got me kicked out of the stadium. And he played against Clemson that year, but he was suspended the next week against, directional Louisiana.
Austin P.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. That's why I don't like them. They like to take the alternate route whenever possible, it seems like. But I did they're keeping what's his name, Cadillac Williams, big inspirational thing. He interim coached the last couple games, keeping him on the staff. So
that's integral, I think, also twofold because he's inspirational to his team, but his kids love him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they played hard for him. Even the Iron Bowl, which the score wasn't really indicative they just weren't on the same level as Alabama.
Yeah, same talent.
They scored,
but they played hard. They played hard. It was still an enjoyable game, even though it was pretty one-sided.
No, they put all their effort into it, no doubt.
I think it's pretty cool.
It's going to be
So
interesting to
smart.
see. I mean, because like I said, I thought with all the reports that it was going to be Lane.
He beat Bama twice when he was with Ole Miss.
Yeah, we think they may have cast the line to Lane, and Lane didn't bite, and so they had to go to option B, which.
And Lane was like, "I want to give me a raise. No, I will stay here."
Oh, of course, he absolutely played that for a raise too. It's like
they all do. They all do it.
Uh-huh.
David Shaw retired or resigned from Stanford after 12 years at the job there. Hasn't really been great though since Christian McCaffrey, Andrew Luck.
No,
just kind of been shuffling by. Beat Notre Dame this year, but other than that, nothing really to.
Why you gotta bring up bullshit?
He's another offensive mind that we'd be okay with coming to South Carolina. Just
and him and Dabo are boys.
They are.
Really?
They've traveled to each other's
many times
to trade notes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my brother-in-law is now the assistant crew coach at Stanford. So,
we got it in. Let's work.
We're in. We are in. He said he's got access to really good tickets. And then I saw a picture of the stands the following week.
I think everybody does. Yeah.
Everybody's got access to really good seats.
So when we going? When we going?
Well, I think he starts January 1. So
it's reading his not press conference or whatever, just his comments after the last game. I think he's done. He sounded very done. I don't know.
Just tired.
I think he's done.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going anywhere else. I don't think he resigned.
Studio ain't a bad gig.
Yeah, he can come and go from that type of job too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Luke Fickell went from Cincinnati, made the playoff last year, to Wisconsin. Another Ohio State assistant coach is reportedly interested in that Cincinnati job. It's just a boom boom. It's a stepping stone for Ohio State assistant coaches. Then they're talking about Brian Hartline as a possible replacement for Fickell at Cincinnati. Hartline is the guy who gets all the recruits.
Was he the quarterback at Ohio State?
He was a wide receiver.
Wide receiver. There you go. I knew it.
Okay. Do you like Fickell going to Wisconsin?
I think it's great.
I think it's good for Wisconsin, but I really kind of thought they had their coach for the future when they elevated that guy after Chris got canned.
Jim Leonard, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he stays or if he's up for a job somewhere else. You're right though.
I mean, that was kind of like their boy. We're gonna watch this guy grow and and
he was a running back there.
Yeah. But I guess if it's Fickell, I mean,
it's a good.
He turned down Notre Dame last year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then finally, Matt Rule goes to Nebraska.
I don't get it.
So here's how it works, though. He was owed $34 million based on his contract. Okay.
Right.
It's not been reported anywhere, but he didn't leave $34 million. He probably left $15 million,
or maybe 20. It might be more prorated.
Or maybe 20, but he's probably making 6 or 7. And I'm sure his agent said, "I need guarantee for 5 years, whatever." So he's got that 30. So he probably left a little bit, but he didn't leave that $34 million. I guarantee he did not leave $34 million to go make 6. I guarantee there was a settlement that was, one of it's the NFL. They don't have to report it.
It is a contract, truly.
Yeah,
it's a contract.
Lawyers,
Well, with Chris at Wisconsin, his buyout was supposed to be $17 million, and because for whatever reason at Wisconsin he dropped it down to 11.5. That's what I didn't know if that was something done with Rule, because I just 40 million. You always heard 40 million, 40 million, 40 million. It's like, why would you?
And I think the difference is the NFL. Now he probably left. He left significant money on the table, but it wasn't the full amount. I guarantee that.
It's a tough decision. It's like you either want to jump right back in while your name's hot in the streets. You only want to take 1 year off, collect some cash, gather your thoughts, or collect that money for a few years and then maybe try to come back, but it's like, I'm sure he's got a bunch of friends still in college. Like,
oh, everyone's jumping ship. Marcus Satterfield, the OC, was at Temple and Baylor with him, and at the Panthers. He's going.
Yeah, so it's not going to be hard to build a staff. It's not going to be hard.
Defensive line coach, same idea is happening.
When was he at Baylor? 3 years ago?
Yeah, he built that program after. He was right after Art Briles.
Yeah,
right.
So he took it from shambles to
so 3 years ago he was playing. So he's still some kids that he's going to recruit will know of him still.
They have lost some though. They definitely. They definitely lost some recruits already in Nebraska.
But it's kind of like Dick Vermeil. He was gone for 15 years. And I'm not saying go for 15 years, but enjoy the money, relax, get a TV gig.
Yeah.
Start scouting teams and players and figure out how this NIL money works. And because, what you're hearing now with coaches now, they don't have to lock in a kid and get him into the school for the first year. They've got to keep this kid happy for 4 years now because of the transfer portal.
Yep.
And that's every kid that matters. So, it's a 24-hour babysitting service practically for these coaches now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering if, let me get my feet wet in the TV, learn about NIL, take a couple years off with the money I got, and then, show my wisdom on TV and then get a big job.
There's some semblance of ego that each one of these guys has.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I think there's also a big piece probably with a guy like this that's like, oh, they offered me a really prestigious job at one point anyway, right? I mean, those fans are rabid and they travel. So it's like I'm going out of the frying pan into the fryer, but I've been successful at college. So let's just try it. I don't know.
Well,
some of these guys they don't want to sit down.
With Nebraska, what we noticed about their fans and with Scott Frost is there ain't a long honeymoon.
Yeah, but he's probably king shit there now with all their fans. He's what they had before. And what's out there to get?
And their interim just got arrested for domestic violence.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Good timing. Yeah.
Well, he was probably a little upset that he didn't get the job. So let's go beat the hell out of my girlfriend.
Right. Speaking of beating the hell out of your girlfriends, let's get into the picks this week before we end this mess.
Let's do it.
Apparently, the last time we picked games was November 13th, and we were 6-1-1 as a show, which is awesome.
Pretty good.
And this is one thing that is just so common throughout all the podcasts that I do and all the picks that I do. I'm actually winning 24-18-1, which is solid.
Bullshit.
Locks and JJ are tied each at 23-19-2. Mm-hmm. So they've kissed their sister twice. But we'll go speed round.
Wasn't bad. I mean, wait.
Speed round 2. We'll start Friday night Pac-12 championship in Las Vegas. Number 11 Utah and number 4 USC. USC's 2.5-point favorites. Doesn't matter who goes first.
Where's this at?
It's in Las Vegas. I feel like I said that already, but I'm not sure.
I was watching.
Steve Martin's a prop comic.
My bad.
You were too busy reading notes on the game, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm watching my prize picks.
Utah, USC. I'm going USC -2.5.
Yeah.
Locks.
2.5. I like it. I like 2.5. You put it 3.5. I don't like it. So I'm going with USC. I think it's going to be a really good game to watch.
JJ.
It's tough to beat a team twice in a year. Give me USC.
2 twice. Yeah. Absolutely.
2 twice. Deuce is wild.
Nailed it.
Saturday, Big 12 championship. I think this is early. I think this 12. Is the nooner.
Yeah, I think so.
In AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. Kansas State, Arlington, Texas. Excuse
Fort
me.
Worth.
Number 10, Kansas State. Number 3, TCU. 2.5 points again, TCU. I'm going Kansas State. Because that's everything I read today, and I'm a follower.
I want TCU to win. I'm going TCU. Just curse them.
I know Kansas State wants to be a giant killer, but I think TCU wants to get in those playoffs. I'll take TCU.
All right, I like it. 4:00 Saturday, SEC Championship in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Number 14, LSU. Number 1, UGA. UGA, 17.5 points. I'll go LSU. I think that's just too much.
That hook.
It is that hook, I think, for me.
It's tough.
That's a big number for a championship
it
game. I
is
know
big.
LSU's in that spot.
This is like Alabama-esque.
Yeah. I mean, does Georgia just needs to win? I don't think they're, I don't know.
They're in. Yeah, just winning in.
Yeah.
They could lose and in, probably.
Losing in too, but they don't want to be out of that number 1 spot. Georgia.
I'm with Casey. I'm taking LSU. It's too big a point.
I think Brian Kelly's a fucking buffoon still.
He's a dick.
The American Athletic Conference in New Orleans, number 22 UCF, number 18 Tulane. Tulane's 4-point favorite. I'm going Tulane all day. Give me Willie Fritz and that running back.
Yeah, that's good as shit.
Yeah.
That's a guy to keep your eye on for the over in yards too. By the way, it's maybe quite some money.
On Prize Picks,
like $10 probably. But yeah, dude, the Green Wave they did lose a game this year too, didn't they? I think
they have lost.
I think it's 2. I think they're 10-2.
Twice? Really? Yeah, they're ranked too.
They are 10-2.
I got the Green Wave. Yeah.
Well, one's 18, one's 22. So and
UCF beat them. UCF beat them in the regular season,
yeah.
38-31. But they are playing in New Orleans, literally
I was gonna say,
right down the street.
Because it's New Orleans, they're playing at home. I'm going to take Tulane.
Who'd you take, Locks?
He took Tulane.
Green Wave.
That's my rival high school nickname in New Jersey. I'm not a big fan of saying that word. Saturday, Big Ten Championship.
25 years ago.
Same time as the Clemson game. Purdue, unranked Purdue at number 2, Michigan in Indianapolis. Michigan, 17-point favorite. This one, I'm going the other way. I'm going Michigan because I just think they're going to put it on people.
I think put it on is over with right now for them. I'm going Purdue in points here myself.
Good pick.
After last week's game and the way they put it on Ohio State, I think Michigan's going to be a little tired. I'm going to take
emotional.
Purdue. I'm going to take Purdue in the 17.
I like it, JJ. Good call. We're going to get him. We're going to get him. You and me is going to catch him.
Damn right.
Finally. The ACC Championship in Charlotte, number 9, Clemson, number 23, UNC. Clemson, 7.5-point favorites. I'm actually going North Carolina here.
Shit.
UNC, outright winners.
Whoa.
You heard it here second.
You're not I'm sorry.
The white flag is waving over here.
Clemson might squeak this out. That's why I'll take the 7.5 and UNC. It's in Charlotte. You know, hey,
it's 2 hours from both schools. It's a good in between.
So there you go.
It's a pretty sleepy game. I've been to one. It's one of those where they just pan around and show all the fans in the lower and the upper's tarped.
Did you fall asleep at the Georgia Tech game?
That's called passed out. It's not called fall asleep.
That was Tennessee Clemson bowl game, Peach Bowl.
Oh yeah,
I didn't fall asleep. I passed out.
That was lots of Bud Lights.
Budweiser was everything. Yeah.
Hey, let's go to tonight's game. What's going on right now?
10-7 maybe. Then the Bills just look dominant.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yep. Sure enough.
17-7.
17-7 now.
They scored again before. Yeah.
On that note, we will end this mess. So good to be back with the boys on the C'nB show.
Hey, you know what next week is?
Christmas.
The best game of the year.
Oh, Army-Navy. That's right.
Army-Navy.
Yeah. Yep.
Always a lot of fun.
It's an early game, too.
I am traveling next week, so who knows where I'll be Thursday night. Maybe, I don't.
Hopefully a cheap hotel talking to us.
It's at the A-Loft, and I think I have a dinner from 7:30 to 8:30. But I'll let y'all know. We'll figure it out.
We'll do a late show. Give us time to drink up.
Locks loves late shows.
Ugh.
And from Eddie
Do it.
Lockett's fingertips to God's ears, the baseball preview next week, you know it.
Hot Stove
Absolutely.
League has just started. We can't do predictions yet.
Say goodnight, boys.
Boys, good night.
Bonsoir.